Hello, and thank you for joining this session covering the Oregon Surf Elite travel process. Our goal is simple, to give you the details on how Oregon Surf manages team travel. Specifically, we'll walk you through the entire year-round process, from annual planning and forecasting to how we handle initial bookings, member payment, and the final post-trip reconciliation of your invoice. To understand the process, we'll start at the beginning, the annual club travel schedule planning. Planning for the next soccer season begins early, even before tryouts in May, and often before the current year's travel events are complete. Our club leadership meets and outlines the upcoming schedule for the year. Factors guiding this plan include Platform League required travel, required platform showcases, external and Surf Nation tournaments, balancing expense and value. Platform League required travel. Based on our leagues, we often know our opponents and our travel destinations for league games in advance. ECNL typically involves travel to the Seattle area 3 times and to Salt Lake City and Boise once during the ECNL season. ECNLRL. Older RL teams often follow the ECNL travel schedule, though their league typically does not have opponents outside Oregon and Washington. Younger RL teams may have a couple of overnight road trips to the greater Seattle area. MLS Next. Current opponents are mainly in Washington, including northern and northeastern locations. Driving made the most sense this year, but flying to Spokane may be an option in the future. Platform Leagues mandate that our teams attend showcases. Club leadership, including the program's directors of coaching and team coaches, must choose from a prescribed list and attend a minimum number per age group. This minimum varies, but every team is assigned at least 1 showcase. Teams in the college recruiting ages will attend 2 to 4 showcases. External and Surf Nation tournaments. Additional tournaments are assigned for various reasons, typically, but not exclusively, during the summer months. High-level competition. Club leadership selects teams for high-level events, like the San Diego Surf Cup, to provide exposure to a more challenging and varied competition. Tournament exchanges. We attract strong out-of-region teams at the Oregon Surf Friendship Cup in exchange for sending our teams to their tournaments. Recruiting. Providing additional exposure to college recruiting is also a key reason. Balancing expense, time and money, and value. In outlining the annual travel schedule, Oregon Surf's club leadership is deeply mindful of the financial commitment and time required from our families. A core part of our planning is ensuring that all travel, from required league games and showcases to external tournaments, is purposeful, aligns with our club's goals for player development and recruiting exposure, and does not overburden player schedules or family budgets with trips that lack strategic value. We should pause here to note that teams advancing to postseason playoff runs will have additional travel expenses beyond the annual forecast. To show appreciation for the team's achievement and help offset these costs, Oregon Surf provides financial stipends to reduce the overall expense of attending postseason events. Preparing the annual travel forecast. Once the schedule and each team's events are decided, the club travel team prepares the annual travel estimate or forecast for each trip. We calculate per-player cost estimates using historical receipts, general annual cost inflation trends, and current pricing quotes from vendors. A solid forecast considers the trip's time and location, along with market fluctuations like fuel costs. Time of year and location popularity as vacation destinations significantly impacts travel prices. For example, a tournament in Arizona during Oregon's spring break will cost more than the same trip in early December. Or, as another example, trips to San Diego, California any time of year are likely going to be more expensive than trips to Salt Lake City, Utah. Scarcity of group flights or hotel blocks can also increase costs. Additional travel costs, such as road tolls, local taxes, and event parking charges, can vary by destination. The full club forecast includes 2 main categories billed by the club: staff expenses, coach per diem, airfare, rental vehicle or mileage reimbursement, fuel, parking, and hotel room. This also covers the team manager and chaperone's airfare and rooms, player expenses, player airfare or bus fare, team hotel rooms, and team van rental and event registration or entry fee when applicable. The forecast also provides an estimate for the team treasurer to bill team-specific expenses, which include team meals and snacks, van fuel and tolls, team extracurricular activities, and a buffer for miscellaneous expenses. Other club travel considerations. Mandated hotels. Event coordinators or organizers sometimes mandate or lottery hotel locations. We cannot choose lower-priced options if they are not on the mandated list. Failing to use required hotels results in a substantial fine and could lead to blacklisting from all future major elite events. We must comply to maintain our standing. While our coordinator gets the best group rates available on the required list, these rates may be higher than individual room rates outside the official block. Vehicle rentals, 15-passenger vans are often unavailable, requiring us to rent 3 standard 7-passenger minivans instead. The club mandates that all team and coach vehicles are fully insured through the rental agency. Drivers must not use their personal insurance. It's inadequate and creates significant liability risk. Oregon Surf uses a business account with Enterprise National for reasonable daily rates and safe vehicles. This agreement includes full insurance coverage at a lower cost than individuals could arrange. Communication. After the annual travel forecast is finalized, we communicate the estimated figures and trip-by-trip estimates to current and new members. This primarily happens during pre-tryout informational meetings, which are recorded and linked on the club website. A chart is also often provided online. Timing. The club fronts the costs. Some elite platform expenses must be paid significantly in advance to secure the best pricing, flight schedules, or hotel locations. Early booking helps keep overall costs down. In some cases, deposits or entry fees are required up to 6 months in advance. As a nonprofit, fronting these costs without an existing budget is challenging. The club pays upfront, expecting members to repay over time. Historically, the club fronted large amounts, expecting payment just days before the trip. This stretched our budget thin, and members who were delinquent on payment were immediately ineligible. Starting in late 2025, Oregon Surf introduced a new club-billed travel payment collection method that includes payment plan options. This allows members a whole year to complete their travel payments. For 2025-2026, this plan only covers second-half travel, but the goal for 2026-2027 is a full-year plan. This gives the club more upfront room to purchase early expenses and provides families with a more predictable, flattened monthly payment amounts. Remember, the annual forecast is an estimate. Each member is initially billed an estimated amount. After a trip concludes, the club uses the actual receipts to calculate the final per-player cost. Differences, positive or negative, are reported, and either credited or charged to the player's club-billed travel invoice. When reconciliation is final, players are only responsible for the trip's actual expenses. All Oregon Surf Club billed travel is a pass-through expense. The club acts only as an intermediary or agent. For example, if the club pays $70,000 for 6 teams' airfare, the players who attended will be billed their equal share of that $70,000, covering their own airfare and the staff's airfare. All participating players from the 6 teams share equally in repaying the club the $70,000. Understanding the club-billed travel payment plan. To help keep our billing consistent and accurate for everyone, our club-billed travel payment plan is designed to process payments via card only. The club has set up multiple payment plan options, so you can choose the one that best suits your family budget. No pay-in full option is available on the club-billed travel payment plan. All payment plans are set up to collect a final payment on April 15, 2026. This is to allow your invoice to remain open in BIGA, allowing the club travel department to apply post-trip reconciled actuals in the form of credits or charges to your account. This will keep you from overpaying and waiting for a large refund or underpaying and being sent a large bill at the end of the 2025-2026 travel cycle. To give you some further background, the club pays for major travel expenses months in advance to secure the best group rates for our teams. Since we are a nonprofit, having members use this automated payment system ensures that funds are replenished quickly and accurately. This helps us keep everything running smoothly and ensures the players don't miss out on any opportunities. Financial assistance. At Oregon Surf, we are committed to fostering all motivated players to achieve their goal to be the best players at their appropriate level of competition. Oregon Surf understands the financial commitment that is incurred by participating in youth soccer and seeks to assist players and their families in a way that will benefit the players, their families, and Oregon Surf. Financial assistance from the club is for the club-billed expenses, which include flight, hotel, event entry fee, and staff expenses. The player is responsible for all other travel expenses billed at the team level. Families must apply for travel aid by event. If a player is in need of financial assistance for more than one travel event, they must apply separately and specifically for each event. Applications that have been generalized will not be reviewed. The financial aid application can be found on the club website. A committee reviews the applications and informs you of the award amount. Awards do not cover the full amount of the trip, but can provide a reduction in expense. Financial aid award amounts are applied as credits toward the player's Club Build travel payment plan, reducing each installment. Initial booking details. Very soon after the annual forecast is provided, the club operations travel team begins registering for events, securing travel pricing, and making flight, hotel, and vehicle reservations for each trip on the calendar. Airfare. We use an external agency for airline bookings because coordinating group travel for multiple teams is complex and time-consuming. We use sports-specific travel agency. During the initial contract phase, 22 airfare tickets are ordered for each 11 versus 11 team. 18 tickets for players, 1 for the coach, 1 for the team manager, and 2 for chaperones. Hotels. League platforms mandate the use of their agencies, each charging a small agency fee. ECNL and ECNLRL require booking hotels through Athlete One. MLS Next requires booking hotels through Halpern Travel. Many club tournaments require specific hotels as stay-and-play events. If none of the aforementioned apply, our coordinator secures contracts directly with hotels known for accommodating team travel and reasonable pricing. During the initial contract phase, the club reserves 8 rooms per 11 versus 11 team, 5 for players, 3 to 4 per room, and 3 for the coach, manager, and 2 chaperones. Vehicle rentals. To secure vans early, the coordinator reserves 3 minivans or 2 15-passenger vans per team, plus a car for the coach. Coaches share rentals or ride with the team when possible, but often need a separate car due to coaching multiple teams at different locations. Player availability deadlines. The club travel coordinator sets a deadline for managers to submit traveler lists or manifests for airfare and hotel. It is critical that club members respond before these deadlines. Managers relay this information to the coordinator, who submits the final manifests to the agency and hotels. Accurate, on-time player information means unneeded tickets, rooms, or vans can be dropped with little to no penalty. If deadlines are missed, financial penalties may be incurred, which must be passed on to the members. Travel roster changes. For all of the planning involved, changes in travel rosters do occur. Coach-driven roster selections or unforeseen circumstances like player injuries and illnesses are all examples of factors that can create a need for travel roster changes. Parents and players are responsible to immediately report unforeseen changes to their availability status directly to both their head coach as well as their team managers. This must be done as early as possible so the travel coordinator can make the necessary adjustments to travel manifests. It's important to note that we ask parents to err on the side of over-communicating changes. It's better to report it multiple times rather than not at all. As an example of a last-minute change, your player is running a high fever the morning they are supposed to be getting on a flight. Please contact the coach and manager right away to let them know your player cannot go. If no information is provided and the player simply does not show up for the flight check-in, the coordinator does not have the opportunity to attempt to cancel the ticket or request a credit before the flight departs. The ticket is simply not used, and you would be responsible to pay for it. It also creates an unnecessary stressful situation for the manager and chaperones traveling with the team. Team managers are responsible for entering updated travel roster information on all travel manifests as they receive word of the changes. Their role in this process is key, and they are greatly appreciated for their efforts. Please respect their time and role by communicating as early as possible. Going back to the extremely last-minute scenario we just described, the manager in that scenario would let the coordinator know immediately, and then later officially record the last-minute change on the manifest once the trip is concluded. Post-trip reconciliation. The final step after a trip concludes is post-trip reconciliation. First, the coordinator asks all managers to confirm manifest accuracy and note any last-minute changes or anomalies that may affect reconciliation amounts. Next, coaches submit travel reimbursement request forms for expenses paid personally, such as rental car fuel or mileage, parking fees, or extra luggage fees. Forms and receipts must be submitted within 5 days of the trip's end for reimbursement approval. Van rental receipts usually arrive by email to the club travel coordinator within a couple of days after the conclusion of the vehicles being returned to the rental agency. The final missing documents are often the hotel folios, which are sent directly to the club travel coordinator, not handed to teams as they check out. Once the hotel folios have been received and reviewed for accuracy, the club travel team begins the reconciliation process. Every expense and receipt is accounted for, and each participating player is charged an equal share of the trip's total. As stated, the actual expense of the trip is passed through to the player. If the reconciliation is higher than the forecast, the difference is added as an additional charge to the player's invoice. If the reconciliation is lower than the forecast, the player receives a credit on their invoice. Credits that exceed the balance due on an invoice will be returned to the player via a transfer to the team bank account. In summary, the Oregon Surf Elite travel process is a complex, year-round effort that begins with the annual travel schedule planning, guided by factors like platform league-required travel, mandatory showcases, and selected external tournaments. We hope this presentation helps you better understand the planning and forecasting phase, the importance of timely responses, and the league platform constraints involved in planning your players' travel. Remember that while we start with an annual forecast, every charge is a transparent pass-through expense based only on the actual receipts from the trip. You can directly help keep costs down by promptly responding to your team manager's request for traveler availability, which ensures we avoid financial penalties for missed deadlines. Finally, our new Club Build travel payment plan is designed to support your family budget with predictable, flattened monthly payments. Thank you for your partnership and commitment to Oregon Surf, and we wish you a successful travel season.